Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to show you another study-like combination. Please look at this position and try to find a winning move for white. So it's white to move, the rook on d3 is hanging, and how to play. By the way, while you're calculating probably winning move, I will just tell you about study-like combinations. They are also known as etudes, and these kind of combinations, these kind of exercises helps you to improve your ability to calculate correctly with no mistakes, with no blunders. So this is usually how candidate master can improve his ability to calculate. Just do many such puzzles. Even if he doesn't calculate the line to the very end, at least he tries to do it. And of course some positions are really, I can't say that they are really easy, but for candidate master or maybe feeding master, they can be solved. In this position, it's white to move. How would you play? If you need, you may pause the video and think a little bit. Okay, let's continue. So here the rook is hanging, and of course we should play rook c3 attacking the queen. Where now the queen moves? So the queen has two options, c1 and c5. Oh, let's check c1 first. If so, then we capture on c4, king b5, rook f to f4 to protect the rook on c4 and restrict the enemy king. Of course, now black starts checking us. For example, he can play queen d1 check, king a6, another check. Then we sacrifice the pawn on c2, but at the same time we want to promote our g pawn, g5, and later the king goes to g4. I can show you what can happen in case, for example, queen h1 in this position. Queen h1, rook c2 e4, queen h7, king d6, check, then we try to escape with the king. So he captures on c2 like it was in the previous variation, but the king goes to g4 like this. And then we still try to promote the g-pawn with the help of two rooks. He is not able to advance this pawn because we control the b4 square. At the same time, we will try to cut the enemy king off, and by playing something like this we also control the g6 square, so we are closer to the queen square with our pawn. So this position is absolutely winning, but of course it takes I believe maybe 30 moves for you to win here. It's not obvious. You just stick to the plan and try to get rid of perpetual check. Of course, with the help of the rooks, you can successfully block any checks. So let's go back. Which moves to analyze here? Queen c1, queen b2, queen a2, queen... Oh, actually, queen a2 and queen a1 are bad moves, because in such a case we play rook a3, trade two rooks for the queen, then successfully promote the g-pawn. So here only queen b4, queen b2. Oh, I can show you queen b4 move. If so, then rook a3, king goes to b5, and now rook f5 check, and he has to sacrifice the queen. If queen b2, we do the same thing as we did when we analyzed queen c1. The best move here is queen c5. And now I want you again stop the video and try to find a winning combination. So white to move, how to continue? We cannot play g5. We also can't do a rook f4 move. If so, I believe after queen d5 even black wins. So moreover, I think black is threatening to give a perpetual check by checking the king. So how to play in this position? In this position, rook a3 check. How to play now? Or if queen a3, then we just trade and play g5. If king b5 in this position, then a rook f5. So we win the queen, then promote one of the pawns and win the game. So king b4 is the only move. And how to proceed in this position after king b4? Do you see any checks here? As I see, we may play c3. If king b5, then rook f5, and again we win the queen. But wait a second, do we blunder the rook? What if he takes? What do you think we should do in case if he takes our rook on a3? How to proceed in this position? In this position, white still can play rook f5, and look, the queen is trapped. It has no other moves because of the f2 pawn, the c3 pawn, and the king's position on d7. So these are all the squares the queen can move. And all of them are protected. So some with the king, some with the pawns, and of course the fifth rank is protected by the rook. So in this position, for example, king b3, we capture the rook and then successfully win the game by advancing the pawn and promote a queen. So c2, how to play now? Queen b8. This position he can play both king c1 or king a1. King a1 with the idea to play c1 on the next move. But here just queen a7, king goes back, and queen c5. We can sacrifice the queen for the pawn, then promote another queen. If instead of king a1 he plays king c1 in this position, he blocks his own pawn, and we can just play f4. So here king d2, queen d6 check, and on the next move we take on c5 and trade our queen for the pawn and advance the f pawn. This is how we win. Of course, rook c3 is quite an obvious move in this position, and however, in this position it's not easy to find the possible continuation for black, but queen c5 looks to be the most logical move. But rook a3 is still a possible continuation, but c3 here, that's a really strong move, because only after c3, in this combination with rook f5, the queen is trapped. If there is no pawn on c3, then the queen could escape to b4. That's the idea of this puzzle. Okay, thank you for your attention. I hope you like this study-like combination. I'll record more so that you can watch the videos, try to solve them yourself, and even improve your ability to calculate.